On May 22nd, 2022, Steven Garcia and Jennifer Lugo dressed up their little girl Ellie and got her ready for school. Steven dropped off his daughter and kissed her goodbye, not knowing that this would be the last time he saw her alive. Ellie loved playing basketball, TikTok, and the colors pink and purple. She wanted to be a cheerleader and was already planning her quinceañera 5 years away, even picking out her dress. A little girl who lit up every room and every picture. Sweetest little girl you would ever meet, says her dad, and I had the honor of being her father, says Steven Garcia on NBC News. Ellie was just one of the 19 children who had their lives stripped away by the hands of a mass shooter. Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel Zendejas, and I am here before you today to bring awareness on the carnage and chaos that comes from gun violence in America. The story that I have just shared with you took place in Uvalde, Texas, where 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, a former student of the school, fatally shot and killed 19 students and 2 teachers, leaving 17 others injured. Gun violence is a tragedy that affects the lives of individuals around the world. More than 500 people die every day because of the violence committed with firearms, according to Amnesty International. Easy access to firearms, whether legal or illegal, is one of the main drivers of gun violence. The state has an obligation to maximize the protection of human rights, creating the safest possible environment for most people, especially those considered to be the greatest risk. If a state that does not exercise adequate control over the possession and use of firearms in the face of persistent gun violence, this could amount a breach to their obligations under international human rights laws. Today, I will show you all why having a strict gun control is important, how gun violence causes many lives to be ruined, and we can also propose various solutions to this ongoing problem. First, let's examine the initial problem that leads to all this gun violence. It is easy as ever to buy a weapon in America. I discovered this when I bought my first gun for work. Federal law doesn't require background checks for private gun sales, and currently only 20 states have enforced background check laws. Chip Brownlee from The Trace states that a 2017 survey found that 13% of gun owners reported that they had purchased a gun without a background check. The same survey found that 45% of gun owners who bought a gun online in the previous 2 years did not undergo a background check. A separate study found that roughly 80% of guns acquired for criminal purposes are obtained through unlicensed sellers. With upward of 400 million guns in circulation, the number of guns sold without a background check could be in the millions. This leads me to explore the events that occur when a person who isn't mentally stable enough to own a gun has possession of one. Analytics from Everytown state that since 2015, over 19,000 people have been shot and wounded or killed in a mass shooting. In 2022 alone, over 600 people were killed, with over 2,700 wounded. Both the numbers of mass shooting incidents and the number of people shot in them have increased since 2015, reaching a high mass of 686 mass shootings incidents since 2011. These are the tragic results that happen when the lack of strict gun laws are enforced. Loopholes around current gun laws make it easy for everyone to get their hands on a deadly weapon. Until change is done, these numbers will unfortunately continue to rise. Upon hearing these tragic numbers, I can propose one of many solutions. 3 words: universal background checks. More specifically, the HR 8 rule. HR 8 is a bill that would close loopholes in the background check laws. Federal law does not require unlicensed sellers who sell guns online or at gun shows to conduct a background check prior to selling a gun, even when the buyer is a stranger they just met. This legislation will close this loophole and ensure that background checks are required on all gun sales. If passed into law, HR 8 would become the first meaningful federal gun safety legislation enacted in 25 years. A background check for all of the states is one of the most popular reform proposals, with dozens of polls finding that between 80 to 90% of Americans support the idea, including the majority of Republican parties and gun owners. Today, I have spoken to you all about why gun violence is important, the carnage that comes with guns being easily accessible, and we also explored the possible solution. I do have one more question for you guys, though. How many more lives need to be taken in order for the people in power to finally make these changes possible? Thank you.